Where do we begin? I think that's the goal there, to be honest. That hockey was phenomenal. Oh, we're sponsored by, well, a man can dream.
A man can dream,
Wow,
but we're moving on to the second round against the Battle of Alberta. Let's go!
Hey, Bruce, there it is. Bruce, there it was.
St. Louis decided to just blow up completely in the trade deadline.
I wish it wasn't Adam Fox.
It's two juggernauts just colliding with each other. If he doesn't beat Tampa in the first round, he's out of a job.
Isn't that weird?
Hello, welcome back to the Puck and Stuff podcast. I'm here again with my boy T-Dog over here. And wow, playoffs are going absolute bonkers right now. Upsets up the a-hole. And it's still great playoffs, but I think wrong upsets. T-Dog, how are you doing?
Time off.
No time off.
So much news. I love it. You were saying?
I asked you how you doing, T-Dog.
I'm pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Let's get into some decent, happy news. And boys, round 2, fight.
Round 2, fight.
Yes. Bro, I'm just going to say this before you take off with this.
Go ahead.
These playoffs have been freaking amazing. Outstanding. Besides the refs suck. NHL, please fix that, okay? Like, seriously, it's embarrassing. However, this has been some awesome hockey to watch. Last year was great too. You know, this is why NHL hockey, playoff hockey is the best. It just is. It really is. Like, I'm sorry. It's so hard for me to watch the NBA compared to this. It really is.
I mean, true. You know what though? I can't really tell because like almost every game of this first round, I heard the whole crowd chanting "Ref, you suck," and I think to myself throughout the whole first round, I'm like, okay, is the reffing actually that bad in the postseason this year, or fans just don't know what a call is anymore? Because it's kind of both ways, honestly. The NHL rules are absolute, like no one really knows because they're down to the barrel of like Pacifics.
All I know is that video calling, like just having like technology in the game is kind of ruining that a little bit, I think. Because everything is recorded and stuff. It's even the same with the offsides. Inches away. It's an offside, yeah, but it's like, but then like you have the Makar situation last season, things like that, and it's just a whole crazy whatever. But here, this is what I think it is. It's just inconsistency. I think a lot of fans would agree that with these series, it's like the Islanders Canes series, the Oilers Kings, and the Wild Stars, I think were like the 3 biggest ones for this. Avs Kraken too were pretty bad for that too.
Oh, those those were the 4.
It's one team gets a penalty. Okay, it's a penalty. But you're like, you're gonna call that in the playoffs? Okay, well that's fine. But then the same routine penalty happens again and then they don't call it. It's just BS like that. It's just complete inconsistency and it's annoying. Like, bro, I am not a fan of any of these teams in the playoffs, and I'm yelling at the TV because I'm like, bro, how is that not called? I'm mad for the fans, you know? Like, it's just stuff like that. But
hey, your team isn't in playoffs. Stop stressing.
It's fun. I'm not like actually, you know what I mean? But I'm just like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm like, bro, how do you not call that? Like, that is blatant goalie interference, for example, or whatever it was. Besides that, though, I'm loving some playoff hockey, baby.
Me too, dude. And honestly, I think we'll just get right into it with our first predictions. We're going to start off with the West. We have the Dallas Stars, who obviously won against Minnesota to advance, versus, you thought it was Colorado, but no, it's an upset. It's the Seattle Kraken. Whoa.
Seattle Avalanche?
Oh
my goodness.
The Seattle Golden Knights going for a cup run?
Dude, tied at OT hockey, bro. It's tied 4-4.
Wait, he tied it?
Yeah, I'll have to put that in the background.
You blew it! You blew it!
So, I'm trying to not have my opinions determined by the finals of the Panthers game and the Kraken game.
I'm not either.
But so Shout out to the Kraken, man. That's what they did. That's a team that bought into their system. And they won. Wow, it's amazing what happens. And they deserve it. Bunch of players with 2 or more goals. They got depth scoring. And that's what you needed from that. You got Grubauer. That was a personal series for him, man. That was personal. Losing, no longer being with the Avs. And then they winning. Again, I don't think it was ever intentional for that to happen, right? To rub it in his face, but that was
never really is.
Great from the Kraken. Those Stars, though, man, again, they're still my dark horse. And this team, to me, as long as Ottinger... Okay, so maybe Ottinger wasn't the best this game, but if Ottinger can be absolutely outstanding for, 80% of these games in this series, I think Dallas is going to take it. I think Dallas is going to win this game, and I think they're going to take it in 6.
Huh, okay. I actually...
We'll the OT winner.
Probably, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of messed up because the 2 teams I picked for this matchup obviously didn't make it, so now I have to look at Dallas versus Seattle, and I'm kind of hurt because my bracket's screwed. But anyways, back into it. Dallas still looks like that competitive team. I'm actually starting to believe T-Dog with them being a dark horse going into the potential conference finals or even finals if they make it that far. Definitely coming out of the West for sure. Seattle, again, congrats. You have made it just as far as the Flames have in the last 20 years. Or, yeah. In just 2 years of you guys being a franchise. So, congrats to that again. But honestly, if I have to look at it, honestly, I'm going to take it with Dallas in 6. Jake Onder, like you said, obviously didn't have the craziest good performance against the Wild. But again, if he just takes that one step up, it's over.
I do think this series will be, as we see in the first game, it'll be much closer than we think. But you know what? A lot of 6-game series are way closer than it looks. It's just happens to be that one team wins 2 more. Lucky bounce, maybe, overtime, a power play, things like that.
Yeah.
And that's why that series is going to be pretty solid. You know what? I was just going to mention my bracket too. I was telling you this. I was doing so good in my bracket, and then I'll just mention it. Then Boston and the Avs and the Rangers just do golfing things, and then it's like, boom, messed up. I think it was 5 out of 8 though. So that's not bad. Honestly, to me,
not bad.
To me, the only thing that saves it is if I correct oh wait, my Stanley Cup winner was Boston.
Yeah, I have Boston going to the finals. But
the only time I was the most correct in my playoff bracket ever was the 2018 series. I predicted Washington. I predicted Washington-Boston, not Vegas, of course, but I was right about Washington.
I guess we'll move right on to our next matchup in the West. We have the Vegas Golden Knights, who beat the Winnipeg Jets in the first round, advancing versus the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McJesus is beating out the Kings in 6. And now we got a fun matchup of the Pacific. T-Dog, what are your thoughts? Who you got?
Ooh, phenomenal series. Vegas. They look good. I call this, by the way, because I like to always be self-righteous in my predictions. I remember last season I was like, bro, if they weren't injured, they would have made the playoffs last season, and they're gonna have a healthy team next season, and they're gonna be they're gonna be a wagon. Anyways, good on them. Winnipeg just couldn't match up to them in the reality of it. Vegas is a team that can run 4 lines. They have solid defense that can actually back check and play the position correctly. And you know what? I've liked Laurent Brossoit's play. I've liked it. I really do. I sometimes a little iffy, but I think he's been exactly what the Vegas Knights needed. Edmonton. They beat the Kings. I think for them, it was good that they played a team like the Kings such early in the first round. Because if you guys are supposed to go as far as a lot of people predict, you need some adversity. And I think LA kind of proved that this is not a cakewalk. You got to play every game. But it showed that Edmonton is starting. Edmonton has depth, bro. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they've been getting goals by Clean Costin. You know, that one by Yamamoto. McLeod scored, but I think Big Seth scored one, you know, Hyman, all that stuff too, right? And dude, McDavid, everyone was like, McDavid had an all right series, but he has like 10 points. Like
Wow.
10, like, how, you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. Skinner has been what they needed to be, and the same thing with Laurent Brossoit. I think he will need to be a little bit better just if they really do want to go far. But to be honest, it's and I really do think it's Edmonton's to lose, to be honest. But I think it'll be a tough series.
It really will.
It's gonna be a tough series, but I do think Edmonton will win this in. I'm gonna say Edmonton in 6. And the reason why is because I think it's going to be their special teams that helps them. Vegas' special teams doesn't seem to be the best, but right. I mean, we'll see if the refs put the whistle away or not. But if they don't, like last, then if Edmonton can take advantage of that and they can outscore Vegas because they seem to have the same play style with just where they want to score, then yeah, I think Edmonton can have it.
With this matchup, it is probably one of the closest, I would say, out of the 4. But again, this second round looks so weird because this is what no one expected. I'm not going to lie. But I think I'm going to kind of be ballsy with this. Vegas in 7. Okay. So, yeah, okay. I think, honestly, this prediction completely relies on how Vegas goaltending holds up because they did pretty well against Winnipeg for sure. The goaltending held up for sure, but again, this Edmonton's a complete different beast other than Winnipeg. Like Jesus, you're looking at Draisaitl, and they look so good against the Kings. There were those moments where you're like, Edmonton, what you doing? But like the broken stick by Skinner, yeah, everyone shies at their pants on that one.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I mean, it's not like it's his fault, but
yeah. It wasn't his fault. It's just a broken stick. It happens. A broken goalie.
One of those things where that could have completely changed the series, right?
And it almost did. It really almost did. But hey, Edmonton came on top. But I think if you're really talking about depth and like star power, these two obviously are the most like compatible. I think you can cut it a little bit close with Vegas on especially the stars on the defensive side as well. But again, this is, I would say, the most even matchup. I think it goes to 7 with Vegas winning in like an OT or something. I think it goes that far.
That'd be a cool ending.
I think this will be a good series. I'm really excited for this because dude, Eichel.
McDavid Eichel in the playoffs. That's gonna be great to watch.
Oh, no, number 1 and number 2 battling it out. Yeah, see who moves on to the conference finals. It'll be great. I love it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the East. I'm thinking the first series we should talk about is Carolina.
Ooh,
and
Carolina,
New Jersey Devils. By the way, the New Jersey Devils goal song is awesome. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's the Howl by Gaslight Anthem.
Yeah,
I've been bumping it a little bit in the gym. You know, it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Two teams that wear a similar shade of red. This is going to be very difficult to see who's on whose team.
Oh my god, this is going to be so funny. Honestly, I think it wasn't. Carolina was expected. I tried making an upset choice with the Islanders, but I kind of knew there was no hope with that pick. And this was also when I got a double wrong because the Rangers can pull up and help Shesterkin in Game 7. So, Devils, congrats. You made it to the second round and since 2012. Yes, 2012. And welcome back. You're versing Carolina. Carolina's obviously kind of really wanting to have kind of a push here because this is where usually their playoff run stops in the second round. They can't make it to that conference final. So, do I think the Young Gun Devils make it to the third round? Yeah, I really think they do. I think this is a little bit of an upside pick, but I think this is another Game 7 and it goes right to the Devils. They look hungry. They look hungry. Their goaltending, goaltending's looking great since they made the goaltending change against New York. And that the young guys are pulling their weight in a playoff mode. So You gotta love to see it as if you're a Devils fan right now because you just beat the Rangers, suckers. We're the
my
Devils.
Yes, that one guy.
The Devils.
There is something about just an old bald guy just they've been face paint to say
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay, Carolina. Freddie Anderson's back.
Ooh.
I like that. I love Freddie Anderson. He's a great goalie. I love the depth of Carolina. Sebastian Aho. You're getting points. You have reliable players like Marty Necas, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have leadership in Jordan Martin Hook. Young guys on your defense like Jalen Chatfield, for example. I just love I've always loved Carolina and thought that, you know what, I think this is a team that could eventually do something. I kept always saying that, right? And just never could get past that second round. But I'm gonna be honest, like I think this could be the year. Let me talk about the Devils. I love that team. Young team, man. Dude, Jack Hughes has a little bit of McDavid in him. He really does. We were all dumb for calling him a bust. I don't think we ever called him a bust.
I don't think anyone really called him a bust.
Yeah.
He just had injuries and
and shout out to Akira Schmidt. Absolute just, you come in, right? Supposed to be a third string goalie, but then you come in the last game of the season because Blackwood has a terrible game, and boom, you just prove that you can play. And man, has he played.
He won the series. It completely changed the tables of the series.
Igor Shesterkin. I don't know if he completely outplayed. Shesterkin was the only player on the Rangers that actually didn't want to go golfing. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Also, bro, Panarin, what were you doing in that series? You get paid what, $10 million for 2 points in the playoffs?
I think second highest paid player.
That's impressive. I'm impressed.
Brutal.
But those Devils, though, young team, just so many fast. They can score. Defense too. I think they can help. They are good at playing up in the rush as well. I think Carolina's got the experience though. I think they got the experience, and I'm gonna say Carolina in 7.
Ooh.
And I think it'll be very close because I think these two teams very much have the momentum to really, play hard and really grind this series out. I think it's gonna be a grind series. I think it's gonna be like 2-3 games. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of those 5-2 games that you saw with New Jersey and New York. I think it's going to be a lot of solo games because to me too, if Carolina's going to win their way, I think it's going to be a lot of 3-2 games. So, and if they're going to win the series, a lot of 3-2, 4-3 games.
Oh, 1-goal games. Don't we love that at Flames fans?
Well, they're great when it's not your team.
Yeah. So T-Dog, you got Carolina. I got the young, hungry team and the Devils. Honestly, if you look at both teams on paper, they're pretty freaking young teams. These are two up-and-coming hungry teams in the East that could probably be running it for the next 5 years. So that's really, I'm happy to see that.
Carolina just has been there already a little more. And I don't know if they can be stopped, but you know what? Islanders weren't a lot of adversity. Rangers were adversity. So we'll see. But I'll stick with my gut and just say Carolina in 7.
All right. I like that pick you make because I would love to see Carolina make that potential push to a third round because again, they kept getting stomped by those heavyweight teams that would come in second, wanting a cup run. So
it kind of works out in their favor that all these teams got murked out.
I think if it was the Rangers, I think it would be even if the Rangers made it to that round, I think it would be just like last year.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. I really think it would, but
in my bracket as well. So.
Damn, you were kind of making me want to change my pick to Carolina there, but no, I'll stick with the Devils.
Devils. Man, stick with it because, bro, if they make it, bro, that's awesome, great storyline, and dude, at this point, I don't care. I'm the fact that we're gonna get a completely new Stanley Cup Finals this year. No Lightning,
no Avs,
no Colorado. That's awesome. So
no Boston,
no Boston too, right? So, dude, let's just get into this Florida-Toronto series too, hey? Should we just transition into it?
Boston, what happened?
Dude, urinating tree made the perfect you blew it video for
It
them.
was so
That
good.
was
It
awesome.
was so
Yeah,
good.
it was pretty solid.
Dude, talk about
Man,
a season of breaking records. In the good ways and the bad.
yeah, and I said that, bro. Did I not say that? Where I was like, something's gonna happen with these playoffs because the season has been crazy. I was wrong with some stuff, but like, yeah, just more craziness. Okay, when I watched the overtime and when Verhage scored the goal,
Yep.
I stood up and I was like, what? No way. What? No way. What? No way. I said it like 100 times because I was like, there's no way that this just happened. I was astonished. I was absolutely astonished. Like, dude, what happened to Ulmer? I think he had a little bit of an injury though, so that sucks.
Yeah, he
Boston
wasn't playing like
completely
himself that
Boston
series.
completely crumbled, man, and it's just like I really thought that dude, your team was built to play, even when you have problems with like roster injuries and
Well,
stuff. That's why you have depth, right?
yep, that's what proves us every single year in the NHL. No matter how well you do in the regular season, it doesn't matter in the
Doesn't
playoffs.
matter.
And also, the President's Trophy curse still exists. So,
But didn't the Avs win it last year?
no, they won it the year before. They won the President's Trophy the year before.
Who
They
won the
Cup.
President's Trophy last year? I can't remember.
Florida.
I did pick them to be my cup winner before last time too.
Yeah,
Like
but
2018. That's when I was smart.
I think honestly, so I think we'll just jump right into it. I'm not going to lie. I really wish this series was Toronto versus Boston because finally Toronto, after so long, you made it past the first round and you beat the Demon in Tampa. You beat the defending champs for those 3 years and you don't have to verse Boston. So if you're a Leafs fan, you're jumping for joy. You really are because your team's the best it's ever looked. The depth is
Leafs
absolutely
fans
crazy.
are funny though. Leafs fans
Samsonov.
are funny.
Oh, they're so funny.
They're like, they're. I don't blame them, man. Everyone's making fun of them for partying in the streets like they won the cup. Dude, let them have it, man. Like the amount of turmoil that team and organizations had, let them enjoy it. Right? Seriously, that's how I see it. But man, like, yeah, Toronto, long time coming. It was great. Honestly, I was honestly happy to see it happen. Samsonov, you have to give so
What
much
a
credit to him. Playing
dog.
through injuries, dude's a dog.
He's got that dog in him.
It's been just awesome to see. Matthew's been exactly what he needs to be. You're getting clutch goals from players like Tavares, right? Who scored that game winner. A little more from Nylander, you'll need to see for sure. But I gotta say too, like, I am not a fan of their defense. I feel bad for saying that because Brody and Giordano on that, but look good. Speaking of defensive, Morgan Riley, like, dude, if the Leafs were to go to the Cup Finals and let's say they won, I think Riley's a Conn Smythe candidate already. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I
he's
would
played
actually
that
agree
well,
with that.
man. He's a grind. He's a grinder, man. But that's what Toronto needs. Toronto needs players like Morgan Riley. They don't care, man. They're just gonna do what they can do to win. And I
Who
think if they
really
can keep
deserves
that
to see.
mentality with it as well. Also, too, Matthew Nyes, who scored his first goal in the playoffs, by the way, this game, was on for every goal, every overtime winning goal for Toronto. I think it was 3 or something like that, which is just crazy. Nyes is looking like a good young stud. Bunting looks like he's cleaned his act up a bit now that he's back from suspension, who also scored today. The Leafs are definitely looking promising. I'll be honest. But then Florida. Wow. So
You beat the
Bobrovsky,
best
like,
team in hockey.
literally, what an underdog story. It still boggles me that this happened. But man, it's like, and they did this without like the assistance of Barkov. Like Barkov's been silent. But man, it's like you get that leadership from Kachuk that I wish we got in Calgary now that I think about it. Oh goodness. But
This just hurts.
you have that and you think about like their scores, like Verhage scored that game winner. Lundstrom, I just keep naming it off. Montour's been like their best defenseman. Like
Oh
better
my
than
God,
Ekblad,
he's
right?
been off the charts
On
good right now in
freaking
playoffs.
real, buddy. It's been crazy. But Florida, bro, again, another team that buys into the system. It's funny. We all talk about Paul Maurice, and everyone's talking about how bad Paul Maurice is. But why does this happen with Paul Maurice teams? They get into the playoffs and then they do something. Yeah, maybe a third round or a second round isn't an answer, but no. Did you expect the Panthers to make it to the darn second round? And I didn't. So we could put some respect on Paul Maurice's name. That's what I think.
Also,
Um,
Bobrovsky.
yeah, sorry. So Lyon first, I thought Lyon was okay at first, and then it just wasn't it. And then Bob comes in, and
He
Bobrovsky, man,
clutched up, man.
he really clutched up. So let's see if he can clutch up with Toronto. This series is the one I've been thinking about all day. Like, who wins? I mean, this is not determined by the game Florida winning today, but do you want to honestly answer this first? Because I need
Yeah,
to think about this
I
still.
got this. So, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Both you look at both of these teams going into second round against each other. They both have a great story to come into this with, because you still look at the Leafs, the best they've ever looked. They finally made it to this second round that they haven't since 2004. And then you look at Florida. Not a lot of people thought this team would even make playoffs this season. They just got in at the last few games, and they got put up with the President's Trophy, the Boston Bruins, where everyone was like, oh, this is over in 5. Oh, this is over in 6. And they were down 3-1. Kachuk said, this isn't over till it's over, and they won game 7. Like you said, without Barkov really being Barkov recently, especially in playoffs, which, again, kind of shocking, but anyways, as I look at this series, both teams are coming in as true underdogs. And again, they have purpose to really go out into a third round here. They really both do. You could look at both teams. But I think Florida eats this team up. I really do. I think the momentum that Florida went into this with, especially with the Boston win, I think is way bigger than Toronto. I mean, it's close. It's really close because Florida beat the best team in hockey this season. Toronto finally beat Tampa to get into a second round. So momentum for both of these teams are off the charts. But
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think physically though, I think Florida is the better team physically. It's stars all around, but if Bobrovsky stays on his head like he did against Boston, Florida in 6. That's how I see it.
Florida in 6, okay. So yeah, it's funny you actually bring up the whole momentum thing. That's what I was thinking in my head. This reminds me back into when I that 2018 series. Why I picked Washington was because I'm like, okay, they have some demons against Pittsburgh, but once they do it, they're going all the way. That was what was stopping them. And it happened. So to me, that's what I was thinking with kind of both these teams though. And it's unfortunate they both have to play, because to me it was like with Toronto, it's like if they do win, if I'm correct, I put Toronto to the third round in my my original prediction.
Ooh.
But now with Florida too, it's the same. Like dude, this is a struggle for me still.
I know.
Because I really do think that with the momentum, both teams are just gonna be they're gonna be gnawing at each other the entire series. But I don't think it's a 7 game. I don't think it's a 7 game. That's what I'm struggling with. I'll be honest. At first I was thinking Toronto, but my gut's been kind of thinking the Panthers right now that you say it as well.
Ooh.
So maybe I'll just have to do it too. Maybe I'll have to just say I'll say Panthers in 7. But honestly, I really don't know what'll happen, because I'm not trying to give Toronto any credit. But you know what? Now that I think about it, momentum wise, you just beat the best team in the league. That feels like a story that could be progressed through the coming months.
Down
right?
3-1 too.
Could you imagine that storyline? Say
God.
they somehow make the final. Let's just say they do. The storyline is going to be like, look at this. They should not have even beaten Boston, but they just took that all the way, that momentum, and that's just kept it.
I think every Flame would look at themselves being like, we shouldn't have traded this.
Oh, can you?
That's what I'm worried about picking this team, because imagine if Florida wins, This is already the farthest Kachuk has gone, and he's been with Calgary for years.
Yeah, so
That
Toronto,
tells you something.
actually, here's the thing. Yeah, so I'm saying what I just said. I'll stick with it because I just said it. But Toronto, please do us a favor.
Please. Do yourselves a fucking favor. God damn it. Steve Dangle's been waiting for this for years.
Dude.
That man deserves this.
I'm okay with Toronto going far, man. I love to see Canadian teams go far. I'm just, I don't know. It'd just be nice.
Yeah, I think it would too. I'd rather Toronto win it than Edmonton.
To be honest, it's hard to Montreal going to the finals of 2021 was weird. To me, I still think the last actual Canadian team was Vancouver in 2011.
It's not. It's not. It's called the bubble. The bubble that no one wants to talk about.
Yeah. Icky.
But
yeah, so that's my prediction.
That is our predictions, boys. Round 2 has begun. This video will probably hopefully be out tomorrow. So we'll see Edmonton and Vegas, and we'll see. Oh God, who's the other team? I already forgot.
Carolina.
Carolina.
It's a weird one.
It is. It's not one I was thinking.
Who expected these? Dude, think of it.
Let me know if your bracket's still right.
Yeah, comment down below if you think if your bracket is still correct. But what I was saying was like start of the season in October. If you're gonna tell me that Seattle and Dallas were playing in the second round, I'd be like, listen, buddy. I know that you can that there's a lot of things that help you have fun, but like just simmer down a little bit,
calm them titties.
Cold turkey, please. Cold turkey. But we'll see, man. All I know is I'm just ready to watch more hockey.
Yeah, same here, T-Dog. But hey, guys, I think that will be everything today for CHEL Talk. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like as always. Drop in the comments. What do you think of playoffs so far? Who is moving on to round 3? And please subscribe. We just hit 250 on YouTube. I'm so happy. Thanks for the support. And T-Dog, take her away.
All right, heel. Like B-Dog said, thank you very much for watching and listening. However you are consuming this content, if you did like it, smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Common question of the day: is your bracket still there, and why is it not correct? I said that wrong. Let me rephrase that. Comment question of the day: is your bracket still correct, and why is it not correct? Because I don't think anyone is like. There's no way. I think most people pick Boston to go or New York or whatever.
And if it is, how?
Yeah, how? Seriously, like, you some sort of time traveler, bro? Like, that's just crazy stuff. But anyways, boys, good talking to you guys. And like Nardwar always says, keep on rocking in the free world. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Take care. Peace.